The time was April of 2021. Around this time, I wanted to make an original character based on the characters of Combat Tournament. As infatuated as I was with this game, it would be something cool to do for one of my favorite games. The idea for the character would focus on golf instead of baseball with home run bat. For headwear, I looked around the web for a beanie design, and this is what I chose, edited to be yellow and orange in color. I also looked around for simplistic golf club drawings and illustrations, such as this. These items would later be seen with a white stick figure. I would brainstorm some naming ideas and settled on Golpherra. This would transition me to make an animation with my character concept. While not completely my own work, this would be a substantial showing of my hobby for art and animation. And it would only get better from here. I would start to develop and create animations in a more proper way, using Photopea, as I would export things from Combat Tournament, such as body shapes for characters, and implement them into my animations. They would start to look more interesting and diverse, starting with Golpherra Attack 2. I would only have exported the shapes around this time, but as I approached Golpherra Attack 5, that's when I started exporting morph shapes, which were the tweens of the character movements for the 3 characters of Combat Tournament. All these other ones utilized bases for home run bat, and it would be around this point where I actually realized I could use the direct select and pen tools to create my own stroke lines and move the anchor points accordingly. This made the positions of the hands, the arms rather, look a lot better. And then I actually incorporated that to full-on animation for all the limbs, starting with Golpherra Attack 9. It can be noted here that around this time, Golpherra was indeed in the works for being implemented into a workable version of Combat Tournament multiplayer. It's a very old build that doesn't really exist anymore. I would even begin to incorporate other golf club types that I also created. You can see here, the idea was to have Golpherra throw things out. I even finished up these remaining hurt animations, and this would be the last animation that I have done for Golpherra. As we can see here, it says February 19th, 2022. She was conceptualized in April, so that's almost like a whole year, like about 10 to 11 months. I made all this stuff. I even snooped around in Discord here and found a time when I was interested in putting Golpherra into the game. A little earlier than some of the animations I made, but I was making animations during it. As we can see here, I was curious about what I would need to do to get any characters implemented, and I asked because Golpherra has a lot of attacks to work with, especially around this time. Worth noting that I was encouraging him to implement her into the game. I would start to do that on my own, but we'll get to that. As you can see, I exported PSD files, which he didn't really have to use that for. But then instead I exported it with PNGs. I exported PNGs. That's what I did instead. And then he finally did it on this day. Of course, it was a placeholder, no idle animation at the time, but the first of these attacks were actually put in. Yeah, so that's pretty good. This is that first attack. The first attack she ever had that you could actually input in her playable state. Look at this. You think you should try adding Golpherra to CT or CTL? Nah. I just thought I'd point that out. I was just looking at stuff. Eventually, a project for Godot was in the works for Combat Tournament. And even through this time, I was involved heavily with the testing process, and eventually he would even give me a project file so that I could actually edit stuff using Godot. This is what I started doing, and you can tell from the few images here I was trying to see what I could do, and well, this is what I was able to be doing for a while, even adding in some new things here and there. So yeah, we were testing stuff out. Yeah, see, we even gave the project back and forth, so pretty awesome. In the next month, Dennis would confront me about how he feels about my character here. And well, he says he doesn't know about my character. Yeah, around this time he was like, I don't want repeats of the same archetype. Eventually, however, he said, you add her. Yeah, that meant I was given the role to develop a character here, instead of it all being done by him. I was like, well, alright, but I don't know if you'll like my choices. I don't know if you will like my choices. Again, this was what I had to work with at the time. That would all start to change once I transitioned to Flash, but as you can see, I was trying to still figure out things here and there. I don't know why it happens, saying things about trying to animate and insert things and do things in Godot, see? Even here. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And I did that for a good long while, as time went on, and on, and on, and on. Oh, I look up here, and on. And eventually, she was finished, and wouldn't you know it, I felt compelled to share what I've made. So this is the video that came out in March 30th, 2022. And as we can see, I even say so in the description here. Uncle Killer 50 wanted to add Golpherra to this new installment. As soon as we started to notice, you can figure out the moveset, what it's going to be like. So he let me do the work. I don't know about this last paragraph, however. It's been a minute. But yeah, this is what this video is, and hey, I was proud of it. A bit of time before what it seems to be October 12th of 2022, I remember that, hey, I actually could go to a certain website and get an archive of Adobe Flash CS4 or even CS6. So that's eventually what I did here on this day. I found an archived installer, as I say here. Also, yeah, you found it on a random website, apparently. Nah, I'm pretty sure I actually still downloaded the one that was from the archive. This started to actually work out for me. See this? Pretty cool, huh? Finally managed to use what Dennis originally used way back in the day, 2010 or... yeah, 2010. Now I'm using it. But of course, I'm only just really starting here. So I'm trying to figure out here. And, well, that's the end of this. You gotta act. This account gotta act. But this will be a good transition into the amount of things I actually made and used for Adobe Flash CS6. So yeah, I made several things. I had to start off not really knowing anything. Basically just making slight modifications or slight differences in the code, but eventually I took it a little bit of a step further and adjusted maybe some assets here and there, changed colors, changed rotations or sizes. But then I eventually went to animation and figured that out, kind of like I did with Photopea, but honestly, a lot easier and a lot more efficient, given the amount of time I would use for animation in Flash. I eventually went to develop Golpherra and see if I could possibly implement her into the original. This would later lead me to show off a video of just what I have come to create around this time, November 16th of 2023. So yes, clearly I looked at what I have done in the original incarnations of Golpherra, being in Combat Tournament Multiplayer Godot, when I was implementing her there. And I made many changes, and this was only a start. At the time, I had only gotten to her special attack for the showing of this. This, after 1 year, 6 months, and 12 days, she was finally put to completion. After many long breaks here and there, because because I definitely didn't want to tire myself out. It's finally done on May 12th of 2025. Basically, that's when I finalized everything, made a few adjustments here and there, fixed a few bugs here and there, making her complete in my eyes. And here is the proof. It's great to see. To think we went from the days of this all the way to this. It is quite remarkable. I didn't think I'd ever even get to this point, but it's because I cared a heck of a lot. It's got everything here. It's got the stand, the run, the duck, the start, jump, and the hurt animations, and the attack. To prevent myself from repeating what I said in the work in progress of presenting Golpherra in the original combat tournament, here's something new. Right near the end here. This is the new hurt animation. I call it bowling pin. It is even labeled as such here. As you can see, you'll get to see how this works in the game. But yeah, basically, that's what it is. That right there is what that is. And here are Golpherra's attacks. And I think to make it a little bit different from the previous video, I'll show some comparisons compared to the original and the updated Flash version of the animation. So we start things here with attack 1. And, well, here's the comparison. As we can see here, the most evident thing is probably the lack of beanie movement. That's actually a thing. That is the case with all of these animations, all of these newer animations. As we can see between these, the quick movement lines are basically just the same throughout. The general flow of everything feels just about the same. The new one is tweened, however, and that makes it look a little bit better in a way. It was a lot easier to work with in this way. Around this time, this is still just me kind of getting a hold of actually understanding that, hey, I can animate in Adobe Flash and recreate it in this way. Then we have attack 2. Here's the comparison. As we can see, there's a bit more emphasis and anticipation before the kick comes out. That makes it look nicer. And then the recovery frames look a little bit better since there are no frames in between. But we can't knock the original, man, because this is where it all comes from. It's a lot more emphasized and stiff near the end, which makes it feel more impactful. Moving on to attack 3. It's that little backhand hit. Here's a comparison. Clearly it looks just that little bit different. The legs aren't as outwardly splayed. As stated earlier, you know, I was still just taking shapes that were exported using JPEGs, a decompiler, to input them into Photopea and just move things around. But now I could do it this way, so now it looks maybe a little bit less awkward. So now the legs aren't just like sliding around and stuff either. He's pretty not moving on the ground there with the legs. Thankfully, the layering wasn't too bad with this move either. Since she's all one solid color, it doesn't look too weird and you don't see like weird lip stuff. I really like the recovery frames too. They just did a nice little clean as it relaxes. Moving on to attack 4. That little sliding kick that pushes characters up. A little push on the ground into a kick. Oh yeah. Here's a comparison. As we can see, Golpherra is very clearly not holding her head to make sure her hat stays on. That's just one of those things I was deciding I wanted to just do because I like detail like that. Now with the new way I can animate, I'm able to telegraph the fact that she is indeed pushing against the ground to move herself forward. And well, it basically just looks the same other than that. The stance at the end isn't as strong looking compared to the original, but it looks a little less awkward maybe in a way if you really think about it. She's actually a little higher off the ground when she does that move compared to the original. Nice little things like that are different. Moving on to attack 5. Here's a comparison, I guess. I mean, Really, there's not much different with Golpherra's poses. The only thing that's actually really different is the fact that, you know, the beanie doesn't fall off and she doesn't go right back to the spot. And then it actually lands on her head and goes back into position. So I guess I could say that the quick movement lines are handled a lot better in the original. But that's because I had to tween them here. It doesn't look quite as good compared to the original. Well, they are pretty thin. Here they are actually thicker in width, so you can actually see them a little bit better. Poses are just a little bit different if you really stare at it. Moving on to attack 6. This is that bounce jump move. Here is a comparison. As we can see, clearly there's a lot more emphasis in the new animation on the arms actually being positioned in this way to be behind her head as opposed to just kind of in front of her, and then the kick itself just about the same. The beanie physics in the original look cool though, I can't lie about that. You can just see that little bit of a skew that it has as Golpherra rotates around, which looks a little faster in the new one. The way it also comes out as she finishes 360ing her front flip there is a little more recovery-like as well. She doesn't just do things. I don't know what I'm saying. But basically her recovery looks a little different here. It's basically just a tween into a recovery, and it's fine. Clearly the main difference between this is obviously just the hand positions at the start. Moving on to attack 7. Here's a comparison. As you can very clearly tell, this new animation has less frames, but because of that, it looks more powerful, which is definitely a very good thing when trying to interpret a strong forward swing. That's very good. The original one probably would work a lot better at faster frame rates if they were to play one after another very quickly. That's not the case in this 40 frame per second game. It wouldn't look very great. And not to mention, it probably just looks a heck of a lot better when less directions are emphasized. I'm basically just saying it just looks better because it's faster. This is a good showing of when less is more. This really gives off that feel that this is a very good golf club swing with one hand, which is definitely the idea I had when doing this before. And the ending pose is pretty nice for the new one. In the old one, it's not really all that. There's not really too much movement. There's no like recovery frames or anything like that are seen in the new one, where now she has to pull back a bit to settle on this new pose here. Yeah, overall, a way better executed animation in the new one. And here comes Golpherra's special attack. This big rotating madness. Here's a comparison. If it isn't already clear enough, clearly I've got my stuff together when I know what I'm animating. And even without the effect of the electricity, energy thing not shown here, it looks very, very good. This is around that time where I was definitely just getting the hang of animating in Flash. And I can say, with this animation especially, I did not disappoint with the frame-by-frame action, especially before the hitboxes came out and the spinning really started. Also, it's worth noting that indeed I made new versions of the golf clubs as well. I'll show them as they come up. But here is the drivers. And as you can see, the rainbow effect is actually made to look a little better. It was actually very easy to do in Flash. It's not too much different, but it looks good. And now onto the actual spinning part of this move. We can see here that the spinning is actually slowed down near the end instead of being constant. Also, another thing is the motion blur is not present in the new one. I think because it's not a movie clip, it can't have motion blur in Flash. It's actually a graphic type, which can't do that. And at the end, unlike the original where it hits the ground, it just kind of disappears. Then she transitions into a falling stance and lands on the ground. There's a lot to learn from this animation, isn't there? Absolutely. I would agree. Even if you didn't say anything. Moving on to Golpherra's attack 13. Here's a comparison. As you can see, I still wanted to emphasize the fact that she was indeed lowering her altitude or body position of the things. Look, I'm not big on animation terms, but yeah. Basically the lead up into her somersault in the middle before her double kick there. I'd say it looks a lot better with the new one, with the way it gradually starts kneeling her knees with the leg. And then the transition into the somersault here looks even better here than the original. And then the recovery frames right there are pretty good too. The tweening of everything here makes just everything generally easier to make look better. Moving on to Golpherra's guard break attack. Here's a comparison. Yeah, as you can tell, this is definitely yet another showing of how you can actually just do a lot from a simple little motion that the original was. In the new one, the leg comes up, the swing just looks a lot faster. In older versions of Combat Tournament multiplayer, you had a guard break attack because the characters could actually block moves, so that's why that was created. And in this game, in this incarnation, of Golpherra, she actually uses this as her attack 14. It's also her attack wedge. It has two labels. That's really what this is, and you can really see that it definitely looks a lot better. There's actually a bit more with depth and things going on here too. The swing also just ends very well as well. Like the stance is a lot better with that. You can definitely tell I really cared about how this move would be interpreted with how it would be implemented into this incarnation, which I definitely also still thought about when making it. Moving on to Golpherra's attack choice. This would have actually been her previous up attack that I kept calling it previously, but that would actually be the last thing I show here. Here's a comparison. As you can see, it's not as creative looking because of the hat not falling off and then she catches it near the end, but what I made up for is a well-defined stance for telling you that indeed a strong kick is about to come out. And then the hit comes out, the kick. See that leg really extends out there. While it looks a little less smooth compared to the original, that's fine. We need to see that power in this kick. And that's when I've just kind of started to really figure out as I animated her. And then the rotations of this bicycle kick, which it is, by the way, look probably a little better in the original, but hey, it makes up for it in many other ways. And then the recovery frames, just a little bit of a squash and stretch here. The stance is way better here. I make way better use of the arms in basically a majority of these animations that involve a kick of some kind. Moving on to Golpherra's attack 12, if we will consider it labeled. Here's a comparison. It now looks a lot less like there's a force that Golpherra is trying to counteract, and more like she's actually swinging the wood around. By the way, I actually missed out on showing what the wedge looks like. The wedge actually looks like this. Here's a comparison for those who like it. As you can see, they have cool little individual lines and shading and colors. Cool looking. Basically, it's just the general design of her golf clubs. Her special ones, her unique ones that aren't the ones she's always showing holding the whole time. I hope you like them. And the putter one is coming up later. Anyway, animation. You can see definitely it looks a lot better executed in the new one. It just looks a lot faster, and actually it functions a lot better because of that. But we'll get to that. But yes, most certainly it doesn't go in like multiple directions either, or at least slight angle differentiations throughout the move. It kind of does look like a lot simpler in the new one. I believe I remember when I was making this animation, I was just listening to a bunch of Kirby's Dream Course, I believe. It's like the Kirby golf game made for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. So, yeah, I just kind of remember the original when I was just making that and listening to some music from that game. Nice little tidbit of information. Moving on to Golpherra's Attack 6. If that's Attack 6, what's the other one called? It's called Attack Footstool. Yeah, that's actually what this one is called. Pretty sure it was originally called Attack 6 in the Godot version. This is now Attack 6. Here's the golf clubs comparison, because this is the putter. Hope you like it. Just that little green cylinder right there. You see that on there. But now here's the comparison of the attack. As you can see, it definitely uses frames from Double Ranges and Mr. Slaptastics same attack 6. However, there is actually a frame in between the two that they use before the hit comes out. This frame right here. I did that on purpose. I just wanted to make it look a little different. I think it just looks kind of cool. Other than that, it's not really that remarkable. Though I guess I can compare it to the original and say that the poses are a lot stronger and the attack overall just looks and feels a little more impactful as well. She also doesn't look all that scrunched up like anywhere throughout all this. Moving on to Golpherra's down attack, attack 18. Here is a comparison. At the start of the move, you can see it's not actually symmetrical, and actually there's a lot more movement into that anticipation where she finally hits them to both sides and then it settles into that pose. Instead of it just settling at the end with the golf clubs just kind of smaller in size, as you can see the scaling, they are more extended out instead of more inwards. Yeah, pretty cool. Moving on to Golpherra's attack choice 2. I didn't mention it earlier, but this would have been attack choice 1. We'll see what that's about later. But for now, here is attack choice 2. It's based off of the second one that was her down attack. Speaking of which, here's a comparison. As we can see, definitely doesn't really look the same at all. The starting frame is way different, and the actual kicking part of the move actually does not hit both sides, but rather it directs its direction to one side. Direction. We can see that the move actually hits to one side instead of both sides, and it is like that for a reason. These all have to really do with the gameplay, but we're not quite there yet, are we? A good thing to point out is that both of them still use quick movement lines when she does drop down, which is interesting. I wasn't really even thinking about if they'd used quick movement lines at all or anything. I actually just made this without actually using it as a reference point. Pretty sure I didn't do that for this particular animation when making the new one. But yeah, as we can see, the anticipation is pretty well defined here, and the kick looks pretty good. Even the tweening as it comes out of that skew looks pretty good, and then the recovery comes out like that. It's pretty good. Moving on to Golpherra's attack 19. This would be her second multi-hit attack, and it consists of those very quick kicks. Here's a comparison. As we can see, the anticipation frames are a little better before the hit comes out, and yeah, the way she actually turns around during the move looks a little bit better in the new one than the old one. Looks a little less simple because of that. The up and down part of the multiple kicks still looks pretty good between both. The standout best part of the new one is now the punch that ends the combo, because the anticipation frames before that look way better than in the original. It just kind of looks like in the original that the punch just kind of comes out, but here you can very clearly see that the punch is telegraphed to be powerful and launch right up into the air, especially given the frames afterwards that show that the hit definitely took some effort. Really holds that pose for a little bit, and then she settles down and puts her leg down. Pretty well done. You can definitely tell that I'm getting a hold of animating in Flash, especially by this point. Moving on to Golpherra's attack 20, as it is labeled. Here's a comparison. As you can see, this clearly deviates from the original animation by quite a bit. The only real similarities are that the hit of the move still is behind where she would be normally facing when executing the move. Instead of a kick backwards, that actually was inspired by an animation made by Alan Becker at a certain scene or point in the animation, it is instead more original, and it consists of an elbow backwards, which looks a lot better in my opinion, and it feels a little more like it's like my own thing I came up with, and not just kind of copied and pasted from an animation, stuff like that. It's a little bit more of a simple showing of the recovery frames. You just tween that and it looks fine. She still looks like she's airborne throughout all of this, which is good, especially with the leg in the back in the beginning. You see how it kind of comes up there. Moving on to Golpherra's attack 16, as it is said in this game. Here's a comparison. Now, I did not do any flipping of images here. This is indeed how they were when they were originally made. Yes, the new one actually faces in this direction instead of in the original where she actually hits in the other direction. Though the way the game would interpret that through the code is different. But yeah, this is actually just a little bit more simple take on the quick swing forward with the wood golf club in the air. The hit comes out, it's very fast. The recovery frames are very simple, but it's fine really. You don't need to go all out all the time. I like the way that I animated the legs. The original animation, well, that is a lot better and smoother. Clearly I was getting a hold of how I can actually make moves look very powerful in Photopea. You can even do the same thing in Flash, especially when you're doing it later on. Kind of like I did there. Moving on to Golpherra's Attack Wedge 2 here. This would have actually been Golpherra's up throw attack in the combat tournament multiplayer Godot. Here's a comparison. Yeah, clearly the anticipation frames are better defined in the new animation. You can see a much better defined pose that would indicate that she's about to throw something. If you just even look at the arm positions and the way that her legs kind of support her stance to be able to throw something. And then when she actually throws the thing, that thing gets sent flying. And you can even see the wedge spinning was even recreated for this purpose here. Might even show a comparison for that here too. Here you go. Yeah, the actual way this is working here, it's actually tweened a little bit to be slower as the move approaches its end. And I think you can see that definitely in the comparison. I don't have the comparison, you do. Pretty sure each one of these frames before the golf club is thrown is... Actually, all of these frames are actually not even tweened at all, except for the wedge. So, yeah, the poses here are a lot stronger, I would say, compared to the original. And we finish things off with Golpherra's Attack 14. 14? Here's a comparison. As you can see, a slightly different take was put on the first few frames of the move when she throws the golf club to her other side and then she hits upwards with it with a swing. The throw leads to the swing. That was the idea. Actually, this was the animation I had to do for the combat tournament multiplayer Godot while I was still messing around a heck of a lot with the game before, of course, I eventually finished animating this in Photopea, and then I implemented it into that, and that's what came of it, and then I was able to show it off. But yeah, as we can see here, a slightly different take on how Golpherra leads into that swing part of the move. A bit less smooth. The way the golf club actually spins around is kind of still the same between the two. I can definitely see where Dennis was coming to when he was telling me about how we gotta actually emphasize these movements. You can see that, especially even with the recovery frames. She just holds that pose right there. Like, that's an emphasized recovery pose, and then she settles into this one. And that is the last of it. So now, I think it's about time that we get to the point I think many of us would like to see. Let's not shy away from comparisons either. Lo and behold, the two on display. Two playable versions of Golpherra. You're able to see it now. See this? Check it all out. Everything sounds much higher in quality over here, which makes sense. I mean, it's Godot. It's also like a lot faster in frame rates, using a lot of my CPU. But that's no big deal, you know. I mean, I'm able to show it, right? And you see over here, the jump height is not the same. I decided to just not change the jump height. I would think it was fine. Her movement speed is, however, a little faster than Home Run Bat and Mr. Slaptastics. It's still slower than Double Range, though. Pretty sure the power is set to 3 in the code. And here are the bots of the game. Yeah, obviously you can move around, you can even dodge around. She can block, but this one cannot. You can still dodge around. She can dodge around, do things like this, all that stuff. Yeah, she's able to jump all the way, pretty much almost near to the ceiling. Imagine Golpherra doing that. in this game. Yeah, you can. In this version. Yeah, you can't really do that. And then here's where I decided, hey, just put them all 4 of them here. Pretty good stuff. Here are the attacks. So yeah, certainly simple stuff. Here's how it looks here. I actually adjusted the hitbox so that you pretty much cannot fail to follow up from it. Speaking of which, oh yeah. Hope you like that. Here's this though. Oh yeah. And there's the arc for that move. And here's the arc for it here. Yeah, it actually launches a little bit more further in the new version compared to the old version. And then there's this move. Feels a lot better there compared to the old. Though it still launches in the same way. Probably still the same distance as well. Or just about anyway. And then we have attack footstool. Ooh. Getting some space here. Some life right here. Oh yeah. Pretty cool, huh? You can see in this version, you can actually adjust the way you go throughout the air. You can either not hold any direction at all, which I do here, and you end up this far away. You can hold in the direction of them and end up way closer to them. Or you can hold forward and go way farther. Yeah, way farther. I think even the bot here decided to roll backwards, so that's probably why they're closer. Yeah, so that's how far. You can also use the fast dropping technique here as well. And yeah, you can end up in all sorts of places. I'm stuttering, oh my gosh. I guess that's how cool it is. I'm at a loss of words. Yeah, you end up really going all over the place. Let's line up the pixels here. What a random thing. The next attack would be her forward, which functions differently here compared to here. It might actually be the same. I'm not completely sure, but I could be wrong. What I do know is that indeed it launches kind of like that. Yeah, pretty good. And then the next attack is her special attack, which I kind of actually want to leave for last. I don't know. Leave the special stuff for last. Last but not least, right? Let's move on to the next attack, which is the follow-up to this move. Yeah, that. Oh yeah, the way it looks in the new version definitely looks a lot better. Dang, double kill. Absolutely looks a lot better. Even despite the lag spikes there. Yeah, let's see how that looks here. Yeah, it still moves her forward. The move comes to an end there. Yeah, so there's the big difference between the two. Instead of just stopping here, in the new one, you actually follow them along a bit. So, that's the difference. And I believe the next attack is the guard break, which was originally this. Which is... yeah, originally that. But as I would definitely come to realize, as people also pointed out when I even showed this covers way too much space. It's very unbalanced move. It reaches all the way over there, and you could do it many times and not get penalized. It's just kind of boring, kind of mindless easiest way of playing the game. Hey, you just can do this and everybody's caught in it. So instead of that, I decided to put the guard break back in and use it like this. It's also her follow-up to this move to attack. Yeah, see? You can also hold forward or backwards and adjust the way that the opponents get launched because of the way the hitbox is programmed to interpret the hitter's speed and add or decrease to it depending on if you're holding left or right. And you can also, again, use it for this, which can be nice for traveling across the level a bit and even catching some opponents by surprise, as opposed to this move, which literally just covers space and kind of broken. Anyway, I believe the next move is this move, that bicycle kick. Yeah, this is the next move. Launches way up there, kind of like that. You see that? It still launches in much of that same way. You can also see now there's a slight difference in the hit sound effect. Yeah, I like the way that sounds compared to this. Yeah, actually, if you look at the way that the move launches, certainly, yes, it definitely launches a little differently. The way it looks is a little different, maybe. But basically, they still land in the same general area in front. How about if I stand like right on top of them and then do it? Okay, so they end up landing a little bit further forward in the new version compared to the old version. That's nice. I believe the next attack was, I believe their aerial attacks. The aerial attacks. Yeah, the way that these moves work here, you can't really hit it multiple times. In fact, I think you can hear they just launch away, so you can't really hit multiple times with it, which isn't really that interesting. You cannot really hit this thing multiple times, as opposed to here where you actually can, and you can even do it like this. If you're lucky and you're near like the ceiling and stuff, you can probably get all 6 hits in on one character. Maximum damage output. But yeah, the way it works here feels like a lot better. It's cool for like spacing out things. Yeah, you can even do it in one short hop if you really like that. Yeah, stuff like that is possible, which feels a lot cooler to do compared to. And then the next one is this. For aerial down attack, attack 6. I remember in my testing I actually had to lengthen the keyframe for this move so that you couldn't just spam it repeatedly on opponents. Like, you could hit 2 of these in the air with 1 full jump, and that wasn't right. Here, you actually could technically do that. I did not consider that at all. It's like with double range in the combat tournament. You could actually hit characters multiple times, or that's probably why the move has bounds in the original. In fact, yeah, let's see this. Yeah, you can definitely hit that twice. And I believe the next one is this one. Yeah, this one. Yeah, so it launches about this far away. Looks a little floaty maybe, and it actually hits in only one direction. I couldn't actually quite figure out how to code that to make it work as it would here. Also, the sound use is different. I think this sound here works a lot better for this purpose. Let's see how far away it launches. Yeah, it's about that far away, so pretty good. Next one, I believe, is this one. Yeah, that one. Still only launches in one direction. But yeah, ban that move. It's OP. But yeah, still only land. Yeah, Lanch. I must be hungry. So in here the angle is a little more strict, and it also launches a lot faster. Launches a lot further. At least I think. It actually might launch about the same way. I don't know. Yeah, I see that here. Yeah, that still launches pretty far away. I don't know. It's pretty good though. Also, the sound used is different. And then the next one, I believe, is that move. Pretty sure that is the next move. Yeah. Oh yeah, that move launches way higher up in the old one, and I'm pretty sure even in this version there was even like a code to be able to jump out of it, and then you could follow up with stuff like that, which you cannot do here, or at least to the same degree. I think it actually launches up like a little bit less high, so you can't really do that. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it certainly feels a lot better here compared to the old version. Yeah, they do seem to land definitely not as far away. Yeah, definitely not as far away. It's far enough to the point where the opponents here do dodge, so yeah. Which would probably also be the case here, but yeah. Certainly it's not the same. The next move is, yeah, that move. It's really, it's like really wanting to lag on me. But yeah, that move, right there. You can notice in the old one, it actually shows their wall bounce thing. I believe it's called wall. But yeah, here it is here. Instead of doing that, it just actually just launches backwards and flips the X scale of the character. So then it just launches like that. I'd say it's pretty accurate between the two. I'd say it looks a lot better in the new version with the elbow. It doesn't look so weird with the wall bounce thingy. I don't know. I think it was just a choice I wanted to make because it just felt like it made sense. Yeah. But yeah, I decided to scrap that for this one, and instead it just does that. So anyway, here's bots 2 all over here. So, alright. The next move is this one. And as you can see, it actually flips the X scale of the hitter in the new version. So that's what I was getting on about earlier. Yeah, and actually the move functions totally weirdly differently in the new version, but I actually like it for this reason. I actually like that it doesn't launch so much forward the end result of the combo like that. Yeah, I like that. It sets it up basically about where you started the combo. Just a maybe bit further back, but not here. Also, the sounds are different, right? Also, the way the move launches is definitely at a different angle. I think we can see that. It doesn't launch way like diagonally downwards. Instead, it launches actually more upwards. And yeah, the arc, you can kind of make it out if you can. Yeah, it's kind of like that instead of like this. And then the next attack is attack wedge 2, I believe. This one. In this version, it actually hits multiple times. I could have probably changed it so it doesn't do that, but I could not figure that out for the life of me. Yeah, here's how it works here. Yeah, actually, the move actually can launch in 2 different ways in this version, in the old version. Just all depends on how you time it. Also depends on positioning, I believe. Here's how it launches here. Definitely launches a lot further away. Into a cool little... Oh! There we go. I got it. It's very specific in its like placement. I got it. But yeah, as you saw there, it indeed launched like kind of away from me instead of towards me. That little bit there, which doesn't happen at all in the new version. This throwing wedge attack stayed in because, I mean, it's vertical and not horizontal. And, you know, characters aren't usually always on the freaking ground in platform fighters, you know. I mean, they generally have to be launched into the air, be in the air most of the time, especially in combat tournament, because the characters, the bots don't really jump, you know. Works a lot better in the new version. And then finally we have the new and improved up attack. Which you actually can't even do in the air in the old version. Holy crap, you can't. But you can do it on the ground. You can apparently also combo it into itself. That shouldn't even be possible. It's a good thing it's not possible here. Okay. Yeah. It also launches way farther. I'm pretty sure the Y speed and X speed are 20. Or the Y speed is -20, and the X speed is 20 or -20, depending on the direction. So yeah, they go like way farther. So here's where they got hit. Now they're like all the way over here. Probably somewhere over here, probably. Ooh, let's see. So about like over here, and then, oh yeah, that is far away. That is very far away. Yeah, the friction value is very close to 1, so that's why that happens. Compared to this version, I mean, dang, right? Well, let's see about that one hitbox that like, yeah. So there is a hitbox that does indeed extend like directly above Golpherra that exists here. It's this one. Yeah, that move. That hit, rather. So, yeah. So yeah, basically pretty good functions here. A pretty good starting point to establish what I could potentially do with Golpherra in the way that combat tournament could be done in the old version. Pretty good stuff. Absolutely. So, yeah. Pretty good stuff. Very good stuff. Very, 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 very good. So this old version, February of 2022, worked up to be what this would be for Golpherra. And I showed that on March 30th, 2022, that it was indeed something that I did and completed. And this is what it became. And then I got to Flash in October of 2022. And eventually I just got a hold of it and then started animating Golpherra and then implementing her and developing her to be working here. And then she's done on May 11th, 2025. Really a special thing. Speaking of special, special. Yes, indeed. That's the special move here. Here's the special move here. Yes, that's right. We finally get to see them now. We can see here that, indeed, there's like still that hitting sound effect in both versions. You can also hear the use of sound effects is different. Now it's just a deliberate decision on my end. I just figured it'd be simpler to do that. Also, if you really look at the way that the characters are launched, it's not as interesting to look at. Oh snap. You can also only move around in the air when you jump up, as opposed to this version where you can actually move back and forth on the ground or in the air. I still couldn't figure out how to not make the move hit multiple times. And then the characters bounce at least, at most 2 times, actually 2 times, when they get smacked. And their mode is set to bowling pin, their hurt animation is set to bowling pin. And you can hit them around all you want, while they still maintain that state. This is a state in which you cannot jump off of the walls. So, yeah, so much for this, I guess. If you get hit by that. I mean, I guess when you're spinning around rapidly because you got smacked by something of this high of velocity, it would be pretty hard to jump off of the wall, wouldn't it? You know, and actually, you know, retaliate in some way, right? This move is way more quirky in the new version. The move also gradually slows down the special attack. Almost forgot to mention that. It gradually slows down, so the move is more balanced compared to this. Yeah. But basically, you can really see it here that Golpherra really likes to launch her opponents all over the place and basically use them to her own advantage to gain a lead in the match. And that's very clear with the way that her attacks work in the game and also how her special attack works. I mean just look at this. This even affects Mr. Slaptastic, so much for that recovery, huh? And believe me when I say I've tested this more than enough times to know that this is actually really fun to play as. She doesn't feel too broken. She doesn't feel too not good either. She actually just does indeed feel good to play as. Just about as good as every other character. I don't know if I would say better, but it is absolutely something new to the table. And compared to this, it was just kind of a start. You can just absolutely see it here that this became something great as I gave it a lot of time and attention, and it just became something very great. But let's not end things here. We still have a whole game to get through, especially here. So what do you say we finish the game as Golpherra? I like adding this in. Let's fight against these 3 opponents. What do we say? Let's go! New archetype. This definitely feels, hopefully, like the mix-up we were envisioning for the time. I don't know. Oh yeah. Sometimes the home run bats will have the white things because, again, she was based off of the home run bat sprite and movie clips. So I think some of the shapes that are used are also used by a home run bat as well. So that's why sometimes their body shape will change. It's just a visual thing. It doesn't actually really change anything. It doesn't cause anything horrible to happen. It's honestly only with the hurt frames anyway, so. Or like when they're dodging, rather. So. Oh yeah, and also anytime a home run bat attacks, they are apparently using a supposedly reverse version of a reverse version of the move, or like a different variant of it, whether they're aerial or grounded. A majority of them are aerial, like, because I remember I did that as an experiment of some sorts. There you go. As you can see, just a fully pink body now because they're dead. But yeah, good stuff. Now let's fight blue box here. That bounce jump sound effect, I hope it's not too off-putting or anything. I mean, personally, I kind of like it, but it's probably just because it has grown on me. But also, the footstool attack is actually Golpherra's strongest attack that she has. It deals 4 damage. So yeah, oopsies. I don't know why that fell. I don't know. Yeah, but I don't know why that fell. It was a remote controller. But yeah. There you go. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, yeah. You can just. I guess you can just do this, and it changes the orientation. Doesn't do anything else other than that. But dang, way up there. Anyway, here's actually the instance where a Golpherra opponent actually shows up. I decided to add them in for these purposes of showing it off. And indeed, they function similarly to home run bat ones. So at least in normal mode anyway, they do. Just might want to show that off a little bit. Alright, watch this. This special attack is gonna do numbers. Ooh, yeah. Look at all that stun on everybody. Just utilize that to my advantage. So that's how effective it is. And it doesn't feel too broken to me either. It doesn't feel too broken. Maybe at first glance it actually does really seem very broken. But she's the only character to utilize it, so she's the only character that can do that. Besides, if you don't get hit by it, then you could also use it for your if characters don't get hit by that as well during the move's whole duration, yeah, you can also take advantage of that as well. The move is very predictable, and it takes a long time to come out. It's actually the attack actually takes the longest to come out in the game anyway, so even at the fast frame rate, you could probably dodge out of the way quickly enough. And yeah. And actually, yeah, I made sure that, you know, they actually don't. I actually made sure that when Golpherra bots do the move, they will, yeah, definitely take just that little bit longer than you would trying to go back to a target that you're trying to go for. So, yeah. Ow. So, yeah. I did lots of that. So no wonder why the Flash project for it is called Golpherra testing. Because boy was I testing. Repeatedly, over and over, for any little tiny things that could be slightly off or off-putting, you know, so. Whew. Good stuff. Very good stuff. Very, very good. Yeah. This is some very good stuff, isn't it? Very, very good stuff. I don't know how the volume's doing on my end, but oh wow, that's just that's just baloney's. That's just big rigging, I would say. Did that just respawn 2 times? I've never seen that before. Okay. I'll take that. Yeah. That bounce jump can definitely get you out of some situations and put you in some bad ones if you are not too very lucky. So. It's a nice move. I'd say, other than her special attack, it's like the defining feature. Wait, no. Wait, no, that goes to her attack choice. But by the way, she also has a combo list. I'll probably show that once the screen is all blank and stuff. If it will be blank. Here you go. So yeah, these are all the combos. I just figured I'd add all this in, and you can see attack choice. You press A once, and then you up A or down A, and then you press A, that's the combo. You press A 2 times, same thing here, or 3 times, same thing here. So yeah, that's what I did. And I won't press back to mute the music this time, in case you caught that very quickly. Yeah. Alright. Look at that. Oh yeah. That's how you win a match. Just bowl over your opponents right then and there. That's how you do it. Yeah. Oh, and slapping versus Hammy. Yes. Automatic change to slaptastic. Might as well do that real quick. Not exactly the most interesting thing. So I might actually just skip over this for your amusement because I know Golpherra is the main focus. So I'll move it on then. Well, here's a way I can end this. Alright, there you go. Moving things along, let's select Golpherra again. Total War. This is also in a place where yet another Golpherra bot is at. I always like to do this on normal mode and walk forward to the spot where they like to stop around. And there you go. I also didn't even mention their names. This one is Put 'em Up. Put 'em Up. Like, you know, like the putter. And then Par Chips, which was the name for the other one. I don't know, just put par and chips there. I don't know, it sounds like an item thing. It sounds like a brand name or some random things you eat, or I don't know, maybe. I'll let these two duke it out over here. Yeah, I'll see where that goes. Looks like he's taking the lead here. And maybe not anymore. Alright, I don't know what one of the Mr. Slaptastic bots over there are doing. They just keep clapping the air. Look at that. I utilized the bounce jump to hit them there. Oh wow, that was a surprisingly nice steal. Also notice how I can maybe use this move to travel with an attack of some kind and then hit multiple fighters with it. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And you look cool when you do it too. It even feels cool as well. Alright, that's not very cool. Alright, buddy, stop doing that. Oh god. Did you hear the sound? The sound of the jump. This was so loud. I still like it though. Oh wow, nice. Alright, that was actually cool. Alright, it's getting really laggy here. You're not doing that today. Or even today. if I'll be playing this too much more after this video. I probably will. Dang. Oh snap, they actually managed to hit that. Yeah, the move isn't completely invulnerable, so. In fact, yeah, if you're like kind of like right up next to them and then they pull one of those on you, it makes you feel really bad inside. It can, it certainly has for me. Like, oh man, seriously? All that built up special, and then it gets canceled. I don't know how I dodged that. Oh wait, I know why. It's because it's in normal mode. So then it kind of skips a few frames to return back to them to normal stance. Yeah, that's how. I remember that. It's like the skip 0-1. It like skips a few frames for the hurt 1 sound. For the hurt 1 animation for the hurt. Yeah. Oh yeah, you're gonna hit me with your up attack, I'll hit you with mine. And now you hit me with yours. There you go. Get out of here. There you go. Let's do some of this stuff. And do that. Nah. Yeah. Alright. Ah, man. Now I got launched really far away. Whew, ended up all the way over here. I have not done that before. Or looked at it in full display. Just how far away that launches you when you hit the boombox. Yeah. Those 2 double ranges are like all the way on. Oh, never mind. I don't know, but they were just messing around. I don't know what they were doing. They were just not showing up. Ow. Oh my god. Oh, I was expecting the match to be over. Oh, dang. I can still get 2 kills out of this. There you go. Alright. That's one way to win, for sure. Yes. Alright, moving things along. 1v1 Trihead. Yes, because they loaded first, or we loaded first. I don't know, I think Home Run Bat loads, I think, before he does, so. Oh. Well, thanks for reminding me. Let's just try this again. Yeah, let's just try this again. We're not starting off like that. See, next one. Yeah. Oh, nice. Look at that, they ended up way on the other side from being hit from, like, around here. Ain't that some stuff? Oh, come on. I can time this well. I can time it out for a timeout. There we go. I just wanted to get like the one hit off with the forward hit, which is indeed possible. Ugh. Yeah, it's a bit janky in these smaller arenas, so I guess it only makes sense. Though now there's no way they're coming back, I think. Unless you somehow let them like that. Alright. Easy peasy. 2v2, let's go. Alright, that was actually kind of freaking awesome. No doubt in my mind. what? Okay. No, that's alright. Yeah, no, that's fine, that's fine. Did he somehow catch... I don't want to say the name. But, yeah. I think my teammate just caught him in the air as he was getting launched by that move. Yeah, and then he like caught him part way through that arc. Nice. That's not as nice. Heard that with the music and it just felt like something to me. You might have heard it too, but probably not. What do I know? Right? I don't know, it just sounded interesting there. Alright. Oh, I was not expecting to get caught in that. Okay. Let's use special here. Yes. Let's see how jank it can get. Ooh. Yeah, look at how they're spinning so fast, and then it slows down. And yeah. Nice. Dang, combos, guys, combos. Eva. Nah, I'm probably gonna do all that right now. That works when the game is at is constantly running at like half of the frame rate. So yeah, probably not doing that pause glitchy stuff or pause glitch stuff. Which, if you didn't know, was actually coded in deliberately. It's actually called a fix bug script. Oops, I accidentally did the caps lock and I turned it off though. Yeah, it's actually called caps lock. Oh, hey, look, I'm over here now. Oh yeah. Dang it, I did a full up there. Or full jump there. Actually, yeah, in the old version, during the combos, attack 6 and attack footstool would actually have done less damage in the old version. In this new version, they both do the same amount of damage. Yeah. So the footstool here would have done less damage, and then this move here would have done less damage. Or wait, no, that was for teleporting. Sorry. Yeah, actually, yeah, attack footstool would actually do less damage during this combo here, as opposed to the regular 6 combo strings, 6 A string, 6 hit combo string. Yeah. Sorry, I got it all confused. Yeah, so this move would actually do less damage doing the down combo. So, yeah. Which I decided to change. Or, yeah. Yeah, I did decide to change. Anyway, here's tag kill. Yeah. Oh, nice. Excessive. Dang. Next up, one-man army. I just wanted to end it with that. Yeah, there you go. Alright, next up, attack and defend. Alright. Usually what I like to do here is just hit this from here, which does work. You do this. Get a few easy hits there, and then wait for heavy books to get down there, and then we do our stuff. We don't end up getting destroyed in the process. But usually once heavy books get there, we're like in the clear. So yeah. Thanks for the assist, I guess. Haha. Dang. Bit of a setback here, but we'll keep pushing. Alright. And yes, Golpherra is actually on the correct team for this. In fact, if you try to hit this, you can't. So, we gotta actually beat him up. Hopefully we can. Gotta get my teammate out here. in a bit into the fray here. Yeah, over here. I don't know who you think you're trying to go for, but I'll show you it's not really working. Yeah, see, none of them know what they're doing. I'll put him up here. Or maybe over here? Yeah, kind of busted this level. They go fast though. Alright, well now everything's just broken, so tell you what, I'll just skip through this level. Okay, moving on to elimination +2, or elimination. Elimination. I don't know, +2. Elimination +2. Whatever. Let's keep going. Alright, that was actually a really good looking maneuver right there. Yeah. Dang, I clipped the platform. That was close. Oh, I figured I wouldn't have lost. Oh well. Let's try that again. there. Oh, come on. Oh, I feel so bad. I'm not even just saying that. Like, come on, man. You saw it too. Okay. There we go. Alright, moving on to death players. Yeah, it was worth a try, I suppose. Notice how they actually take like a long time to get back, even if you like are just staying in the one spot too. So yeah. Oh, okay, that looked awesome because he was already dead, but the tagging made the move carry on and actually hit the last hit. That was cool looking. Getcha. Gotcha. Here. Really handing it to him, man. Oh, I couldn't have seen it coming. Oh, come on. Maybe I'll actually land one of those and not die. In Death Players 2. I don't know. Alright, that was a nice read. A nice read? They're just bots. What am I talking about? Nah. Anyway, yes, that's done. On to Death Players 2. Oh man. Ah, nice of you to just dodge on the same frame and get hit right there. Look at the strats right there. Yeah. That was awesome. Oh, I guess that these characters can actually jump off of the walls when they run into them, even if they're in bowling pin, even in a bowling pin state. I guess that's how much of a death player they are. They can actually jump off of the walls when they're even despite the bowling pin state. That's interesting. I have actually never even tested that before. But you know what? I actually kind of like that idea. It just makes that a little bit challenging. That little bit more challenging, you know? Something to consider. Yeah. That's interesting. Black chicken doesn't fare that same way, however. Oh, come on. Man, you're not kidding around. Death is no game, I guess. They're gonna pull out a special attack when you do. Yeah. Alright, that was just ridiculous. Okay, I'll give you that one. I can't even lie. Alright, not this time, right? Yeah. Hey. Nice, nice, nice. The game's not over yet, but, you know, we'll let it play through. Look at that, they use Flash CS3 Professional. Uh-huh. I used Flash CS6. How about that? Yeah. And he mentions it again. I never even realized that. Odd. And now beat hard mode. We'll see about that. Final fight. Got me with that one. Alright, I was not expecting that. Ugh. Oh wow, he managed to just respawn them all in the air. Is that how long they last in the air for when they get hit by that up attack? By the last hit of attack 14? Dang. And then he even jumps off the wall too while they're dead. Wow. I've never seen that before. Eat that and eat this. Yeah. Ooh. I can end this in style, don't worry. Only 15 seconds left. Absolutely. You have won though. Ain't that right? Pretty good stuff. Absolutely awesome. Now beat hard mode? You know what? Sure, let's do that. Might as well go through the game again, right? Let's do it. Alright, let's just finish this here with the tutorial. Maybe even bowling pin them all along the way. And now we're here. Ugh, full screen. There you go. And now we can get out of here. Alright, things are going to be a little bit difficult now. Or just a little bit more difficult. Here we go. Let's go over here. Oh, I'm impressed that even happened. Okay. Oh yeah, they go like all the way to the other side. Then I can smack that out. Oh yeah. I was hoping that would hit him, but it didn't. Yeah, sometimes you can get like a lucky hit with like that. I don't know. There's still lots of it, and like if the move is clearly not going to hit the opponent though, so. Yeah. Absolutely. Still a good thing to use at times. There you go. Alright. Moving on to one blue box. Let's do this thing. Not the greatest start. Okay. That's okay. We pull on through. And that's fine. Okay. On the complete opposite side. Pretty sure on impact, the move does 20 damage. So yeah. Not as strong as it could be if it just hits the character one time. But the stun for the move is more than enough to compensate for that, and in the fact that you can potentially get a few easy hits in. So, yeah. Yeah, sometimes they don't actually bounce off the wall sometimes. I think that's just the case with how the game is coded and functions. So, also the way the hitboxes kind of work with these areas. Sometimes in certain, maybe certain frames of the move, or depending on the way you're positioned, it doesn't actually end up making you bounce off the walls. But generally, it does pretty good with it, particularly in the later parts of the special attack. So, that's fine. Take that, and this, and that, and stay down. Yeah. Her voice clips are from Unreal Tournament 2003-2004, much the same as with Mr. Slaptastic. So, that was purely a coincidence, actually. The idea for that didn't actually come up until like later. I knew that she was female at the point of creation, or I wanted her to be female. So, that was the idea for that. Yeah, white body, blue head, whatever. On to 6-play game, and you will be able to see here that Golpherra even has a hard or follow AI coded as well. So we'll see what that entails here. So yeah, she's able to do that combo. Part chips over here is able to do this combo, and yeah, that's the and then that move, attack 14, also known as attack wedge 1, as it's labeled. Oh, that was just inconvenient for her right there. And she even uses the special attack there. You might be able to see it in greater detail in the future, or later, possibly. Oh god, did you hear that? And stay down there. Oh no. We both tried to do the bounce jump there. Maybe it looked kind of cool. don't know why the frame rate has decided to just dip to half, but it has. I don't know. I noticed it a little earlier before I brought it up, but yeah. I don't really know. But I'll take it, I guess. I like that you can just barely get out the bounce jump right before the character hits the ground with that combo. It's actually really satisfying. Yeah. I think that's all of them. Oh. Except for her. Oh. Now we can see that the player can also be in that state. So. Man, did she die in the same place as me? Nice. Man, that doesn't look weird at all. Ooh. Yeah. Might be here for a while. Yeah, can't do anything while you're in this state. So of course you bounce 2 times. I even made it so that you actually transition into that position even when you're in the Hurt 1 and Hurt 2 animations, or at least when those end. They just transition straight into it. Once the bowling pin function is false, then that doesn't happen. So, yeah. Meanwhile, while it is true, while the bowling pin function is true, then that's basically going to happen anytime you're in the air. Or basically while the whole thing is active. So, yeah. Where are these two at? Are they like all the way over here or something? Yeah. I wonder where the heck Chips was at. Ooh. I was hearing part chips do the special attack, but then apparently got cancelled or cut off. I don't know. How else would she have transitioned into regular attacking that quickly? I like I floated into the air after that because I was holding up and then I pressed A, which made me do the up attack after the forward attack. Nice. Literally on the frame I get smacked. Ooh. Surprise, I guess. I didn't expect him to come down like that. Alright. Oh, the frame rate might be like this because there's like a few minor errors or the game trying to process some type of thing happening. I don't know. But yeah, so something's doing that. It's no big deal. We're still playing along here. Yeah. I'm getting them here. Ooh, that was a clutch hit right there. Yeah, if you notice that right there, that was the hurt one animation that Pico had going for him there, right there, and then it actually transitioned into the bowling pin animation. So, yeah. Dang. Hey, you there? Gosh dang it. This game sometimes, I tell you. Dang. Double incredible. Nice. Well, that definitely looked interesting. Whack hitbox. Maybe not actually though. It's just, you know, I don't know. Nice. That was actually a very good teleport right there. Oh. Not well. Yeah. Wolf landed right in that spot. Turned around just in time to get that in. And I still have now 1 bounce. Now 0 more bounces. Alright, you two go all the way over there. How about that? That's like your get off of me tool, and it launches them really far away. Around here is probably like the top of that arc. Oh yeah, you see that? They even follow you around. So, that's cool. During that move. You can also see the bounce is still curling his head. Oopsies. Huh? Wait, what? Usually they follow up immediately after doing that move. What? What just happened? Also, I'm apparently dead again. That was some weird stuff. I don't even know what just happened. Yeah, I don't even know what the heck just happened. Ooh, that was a nice snag of that hitbox. That was a nice snag of a hitbox. Yeah, 20 hit points. That's about a fifth of the HP, so yeah. Hello. I just saw like the name, and then hello, you're right up here. Hey, I'm gonna hit you now. I have the opportunity that I will not waste for just spawning right on top of you. All right then. Yeah, you get out of here. You can just out. Yeah, you can bounce jump off of me. I mean, I am you, so I can do the same to you, so it feels fair. Alright, buddy, stop it. Alright, you got me with that one. You absolutely got me with that one. I can't even be mad about that one. I was being reckless. Totally wasn't thinking about the guy constantly tracking you throughout the entire match. Sorry about that. Oh yeah? Here's how I'll end things off, I believe. And I'll kill my doppelganger as well. To end it off as well. Cool. And then we have Sloppy versus Hammy, and nothing really interesting going on here, so there you go. Alright. That's one down. 10 more to go. Let's go here now. Here we go! Dang, hard luck this time. Oh, oh man. They're all the way over here. I think. Oh, they're not. Well, if I had my special attack, I would do that. But the bar isn't full, so I can't do that. That's fine enough. Take him over here. Alright, that was nice. You can't deny that. That was actually nice. That was a nice move right there. Nice effort, or nice use of the move. Yeah, that was... Guesses and Stupid are over there just duking it out. Even coming over here. Oh, never mind. That's not what they're doing. I just saw everybody else. I wasn't even thinking about put 'em up over here. That's on me. It was worth a try. I mean, I was through pretty much either way, so it was a thing. But yeah. Oh yeah, they end up really far away. or something? I think they did. I don't know. Sometimes when I was testing, I couldn't really tell all the time if they would be actually moving towards me or away when they do the special move. So, but I think most of the time it generally does work. But I think in a way that's probably also a good thing. I mean, at least it gives the player time to dodge it and react to it. So there's that as well. So, yeah. Oh! I was about to say, like, hey, actually you survived that, but nope. My doppelganger Buttermop decided to prove me wrong. Nice. Nice. Ugh, the double eat that. Dang. My last sliver of HP. Can I get it? No. Okay. I was thinking I was actually going to kill out despite that sliver of hit point that is. Uh-oh. Yeah, sometimes when you might, yeah, when you hear that, it's like, uh-oh, that can't be good. Are they going into my direction? Are they going towards me or away from me, right? That's what that kind of makes you think sometimes. Well, it makes me think, anyway. I don't even know what the heck just happened. Oh, come on. Dang, they're all the way over there at the boom boxes? Way over there with the boom boxes. Oh, jeez. that actually felt really nice. That felt nice to do. That was like some optimal play right there. Like frame perfect inputs and stuff. Yeah. Got that aerial attack last hit right there before I went to idle. And then I did the up attack. Yeah. Might be because the game's running at a slower frame rate, but yeah, this. Feels pretty good. Hey. We're all the way over there. We're all up here. What the heck? Just all getting smacked up there. Not even by me. Okay. Oh crap. Oh crap. Oh shoot. Putmuff didn't turn around. What the heck? I don't know. It's not consistent. But I think that's probably for the better if it's not actually consistent. I think if they immediately actually turned around, that would be very great. So. Ooh, here we go, come on. Yeah. Oh, I was a few frames off of actually teleporting away from that. I felt it with the key press and everything. Alrighty. Okay. Okay, they can bounce off the wall. Nice. So if you hit them at that spot, they can bounce back and forth on the wall. Alright, he's just... I guess this is getting disrespected. I was seeing that right there. Huh? Doesn't make sense of what I just thought I saw. I don't know what that was. I don't want to say names, but you know, the home run bat kind of didn't carry with the attack there before I got stunned. Yeah. Come on. No. Alright, let's help out stupid here. There you go. Hopefully you feel a little less stupid. You didn't hear that sound. Oh my god. Okay. all the defeateds right there. I don't even know. It just seemed to happen that way. Dang. He's getting his butt batted to him. And not handed to, because that was a lot of swinging with sport equipment right there. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I was so flabbergasted by the very close synchronization of and stay down right there. I just gave up. I took my hands off the keyboard. That will likely not happen again in the same match. Alright, here we go, here we go, here we go. There we go, yeah. And these breakable walls are still weird. Especially this one on the left. Frick that. Still baffled. Still baffled by it. Oh gosh. Okay. That made my heart actually not skip a beat. But I'll use it in the way we would with such a moment like that. It did skip a beat right there. Alright, yeah, I know we saw that one. Kinda land-hurted. Alright, let's end this game. Let's use these boom boxes. Well, definitely not like that. Oh, because you can just clip right through that. Okay. Honestly, I'll just leave that be. I mean, such breakneck speeds I think the game is naturally coded to handle the speed of about 65 at startup, or the first hitbox coming out, and then it gradually slows down, you know? I don't think so. Alright, let's do it again and defeat my doppelganger. Oh, that was close. That's what I was going to defeat if Putnam didn't get in the way. And yes, that's also didn't, I believe, yeah. Also, this just looks kind of funny in a way. I don't know. Anyway, on to 1v1 triad. On to this. We're in on hard mode. Yeah, try dodging these moves, which you can actually still do, because that's kind of how this works. Oh yeah, you're not gonna do anything with that this time around. Golpherra is going to show you the work. Alright, that was just luck. I'm gonna show you the work. Black chicken. Alrighty. Well, it's kind of a time with the freaking music. Why does that seem to happen so much with this song? Or tune, rather. I'm not really hearing the lyrics anywhere that I can make out. I don't know, it probably is a song, but does it really feel like a song? To me? Alrighty. I don't know. I won't dwell on it anymore. For now. Come on, special attack me. I'm standing far enough away, aren't I? There you go. And then actually don't hit me with it either. Okay, bouncing back and forth. I'll show you. Oh. That felt like a nice set of combo. Defeated at the very top of the level. Yeah. Alright, on to 2v2. This one's gonna be a long one. Alrighty. Have to make sure that I get the kills still, because even though I'm still on the same team as Dirty Toilet here, I still have to actually earn the kills myself so that they actually contribute to the counter. So like mock them and do the whole swinging, yeah, that. But I couldn't get the hit to come out. I don't think it could really hit anyway, with how quickly the move comes out for home run bat characters, and they execute the move on the spot like that. So yeah. All right, that looked cool. And he decided to get stuck there for a bit. Yeah. Everybody dead, not including me, until maybe a few seconds later. Yeah. I was actually trying to dodge out of the way there, but no, the game decided to put me into the fly away animation instead. I don't even understand why it did that. Yeah, that does seem to happen sometimes. I don't understand why it happens. Probably because of the hurt flag not being set to true because of some certain way you get hit. That's probably why. Going both ways. One way to all the way to the other side, and then the other to the one side. One side and then the other. And here's the side where they definitely never went to. Ugh. You know, the gray side. Can I spawn back in the level, please? Into the arena. Thank you. I'm just gonna go along with it. This level already takes long enough as is, so yeah. Just be a little bit more careful. Ooh. Yeah. Alright, game, stop, okay? I learned my lesson the first time. Okay, just please stop talking to me like that. Like you think I know what I'm supposed to do with the bugs that present themselves when that happens. Cut it out. It took a bit of time to come back down. Heard it with the freaking music and it sounded cool. If you're gonna pay attention to it there, it sounded interesting. Oh, I saw that little movement forward that he did. No. No, stop doing that. Oh, wow. Nice one, game. You want to spawn me on top of that? Fine. I'll go along with it. almost. I was like on the very edge of that. Wow. Nice setup. Hit him for me, please. Thank you. Oh. Alright, maybe on him. Okay, not on me, please. Dang, the combo's there. That kind of thing I could miss from combat tournament, man. It's getting them combos like that and with your teammates. Alrighty, you're giving it to me. I got it. Okay, bye for now. Respawn and you can talk all you want. Well, the move would have moved me forward into the hitbox. Maybe I had that coming. I don't know why that happened. Ah. That did not look very good at all. If even good. Ugh. But it's gone now, so let's not freak out anymore. looked interesting. Interesting, even. Been a minute since I've said that, hasn't it? I tried jumping there. Oh yeah, take that elbow. Doesn't compare to any of your elbows that you could ever do. Because you're not even a normal bot. So. Anyway, attack, kill. Here we go, here we go. And that's a way to get things started, isn't it? Ooh, baited into the spikes. Huh? Why did they jump off the... They did a wall jump off the air. How would that even happen anyway? That was weird, man. Mario's being a little too faithful to the name. He's somehow now jumping in the air. Oh, I can't get over that. Alright, game, stop it. Stop. No, no, no. Thankfully the move bounced me off of that wall so I didn't die to the spikes. That didn't happen other times when I would do that. I guess it was just that one time. I don't know. Anyway, one-man army. Let's hit him. Also put this guy out of his misery here. Down here. Yeah. Now you can actually see me and you're not just running to the left for some reason. I'm trying to go for something that apparently exists somewhere over there on that red platform. Red terrain here. Yeah. I don't know. Keep on expecting them to be special attacking, but they don't have the aura around them anyway. Yeah, you can't really abuse the teleporting nearly as much as with Golpherra, so you can still do this though, and it feels cool. There are the special attacks. Ugh. Yeah. 25 more kills, and I'll be done. Get me out of this. I'm just falling into the falling into the pit, and I'm just comboing the frick out of him. Yeah. There you go. Alright, moving on to attack and defend. And I think for your sake, I'll probably also cut this out too. So, I'll convenience you. Or if I guess I could show something cool, here's something you can do with Golpherra, or something I can show with Golpherra. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And also this. Cool. Alright, next one. Elimination plus 2. Well then. Oh wow, nice. Just go into spikes. They're pointy and stuff, but not as pointy as your swords. Those are like the most pointy thing. Trust me. Okay, fine. I think they're not that dumb. They don't just walk into it. Except for at the beginning, for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what I'm saying. Alright. No, dang. Ooh. I'm prone to lose once again. Maybe, maybe not. Well, I have one more life, I believe, so. There you go. Didn't even lose this time. Death players, here we go. Alright. I'll give you that. Oh man. Okay. Whew. Right on like the back part of that. That was interesting. Ugh. I didn't give that a second thought. Yeah, I just kind of went for it. Take that and eat that. Yeah. Okay, dodged it and I managed to hit death 2 times. Cool. Alright. Death Players 2. Alright. Yeah. I didn't know if I even hit that or not, but I just went with another A press and there you go. Ooh. Random frame drops, yes. Oh no, I was about to start rising into the air. I did not want that. I didn't. No. To never be brought back down to the ground. Black chicken over there just jumping. Or jumping even. Yeah. Oh, hi there. Move over here. There you go. Oh, get out of here with that. Clearly I did not consider if they were in the air and jumping and all that. I don't know. Whatever, game. Alrighty then. Yeah. You kinda got me there. Break it up, everyone. That's what that kind of looks like to me. Hard. Wide spike, I know. Must be a sign that I'm getting somewhere. Like, to the end of this video. Yeah. Just walked it. Sorry, ran. It's called a run in the game, so. And it's labeled as a run, so I just ran. I ran it off. Dang. Buddy, you just rode 3 times in the wall. I don't know what you're trying to do, man. But I've won the match. 10 kills. Clearly this is not the end. But we've been over this already, previously. Let's just get straight to final fight. What do you say? Nice try. So are you just gonna infinite loop me now? Whatever, I guess that's fine. That's fine, Dennis. Is this what I get for implementing Golpherra into the game? Is that what this is? Well, I'm showing you here. I can do this. This is Dennis AI, so now I can actually say that kind of stuff. Yeah, I can show you. I've come a long way with this. I even gave Golpherra a bit of lore part way through the animation processes in Photopea when I think some artists in the Combat Tournament Discord server, I think it was Chiming Beppis, made some art, and he was thinking about having Golpherra have a backstory. And yeah, that actually is a thing I came up with a little bit. So I believe I can show the image here, actually. Right here. You can see that is indeed what he made, and the text is exactly what I wrote for Golpherra. It is very simple. As you can see, it just says she just got her golf ball stolen. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head while I'm playing, but yeah, she just got her golf ball stolen. She just got her golf ball stolen, and then she wanted to make more money to get more golf balls and stuff. And she wanted to utilize her golf clubs as weapons, the few that she had. So she trained for that a little bit. Then she eventually caught word of combat tournaments going around, and then she entered for money and her own amusement. So yeah. Hopefully that's evident with the way that she plays in this finalized version of Golpherra. Like, man, this just looks like a lot of fun. Doesn't look like with maybe every other character, they're just really just trying to fight it out and actually look like they're putting in some genuine effort to win. Nah, Golpherra is, for the most part, having a bit of fun while she's doing her thing. But yeah, she's fighting. She's utilized them just like this, and even treated her opponents, like balls, because she launches them all over the place. So I don't know. If you really think about it, it kind of makes sense. So yeah, that's pretty cool. That's just something to throw at near the end here. So, hope you like it. Also, I definitely die here, so, yeah. I commend you for making this game on GoKiller50, also known as the Dennis to Jada. You know, you may have hit a few rough spots even to this day, because even if I don't even get on Discord nearly as much as I would now, nearly as often as I used to. You know, that was the drive I needed, or no, it was the drive I was given to bring me to this point. Without the existence of this game and you making the Comment Tournament Discord server, really, I don't think I know where I'd be. I would not have animated Golpherra, that's for sure. Man, it's a really lot. It's a really good lot to look at, and it's just really great. Trying to see if I can hit that one little spot where somehow they don't decide to attack you. I don't think I can hit it again. Yeah, no. Yeah, probably not. Oh, that's cool. Really, thank you so much, Dennis. You're great, and I want to let you know that, despite your time management issues here and there, a few mental problems as well. Hey, it happens to the best of us. I cannot thank you enough for inspiring me to make what I have made and make this a reality. Way back in those years way back, to be at this point where she's functionable and in this way. While I was just animating as a hobby, I was able to make this a real thing. Years later, way back in April, way back in those days of April. I guess this calls for a conclusion, eh? Way back in the days of April of 2021. And fast forwarding all the way to May 12th of 2025. She's finally done. Or has gotten to this point. It's great. And I'm glad to have shown you, the viewer and viewers, that this is a thing. And I don't know if I will make it playable for everybody. I just want to just show this and show that indeed I still pursued a animation hobby. Even though I've been off of Discord for a while, I am still alive. Well, with that, I'll be up and out. Make way, everyone.